JoJo Part 5 was heavily criticized for the characters and their personalities because of the bad translations. But whoever was really optimistic about the new translations and read the new manga, colored, really started loving Passion and the characters. In fact, they were considered as the greatest group in JoJo. And now the anime being around also double checks this, because everybody loves the personalities of all of the characters now. But if there is one character from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 5 that is really polarizing, is Pannacotta Fugo. From having one of the most interesting arcs of all of them and one of the greatest stands to leaving Bruno's gang in order to be loyal for the boss, made him a controversial character. So today I will be trying to understand Fugo's character from the perspective of someone who loves him as a character. In fact, he's one of my favorites from Part 5. I'm trying to understand his mindset, his psychological elements, and what Araki was trying to do with his character. The first part, when people usually start to misunderstand Fugo, is the most important thing about his character and what defines him, and that is his backstory. Part 5 is known for the crazy backstories that every single main character has. To be honest, even the main villain has a crazy backstory. And Fugo is one of the depressing ones. In fact, they all are depressing, but Fugo's backstory really defines his character, but he's been written and rewritten all over again at least 3 times. So whatever you consider canon or the best backstory is up to you. But we all should take the backstory that Fugo had a lot of expectations put on him by his family, the people around him, which he was not only anxious about having to live up to them, but also was hugely disappointed by people who looked up at them. So, aka his teacher. And that's what made him have a bad moment basically and go downhill from there. Fugo was the first to join Bruno's gang, which is ironic because he's the first one to leave as well. Fugo's backstory defines a lot about him, but we usually see on JoJo every single character have a stand, and the stands are a concept from Part 3 that every single minor villain or main character that has a stand is considered as a good thing, as a gift for the character to make them develop and more. But the mindset of Araki on Part 5 was darker than usual, as he accepts in many interviews, as far as to say that he made stands a gift to humanity, a curse. So that the most powerful gift you will have as a human, having a supernatural power called a stand, will be your biggest curse ever. And that is exactly what Fugo's character is based on. As for the main characters on JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, from Jotaro, Josuke, and respectively Giorno, they all in different situations use the stands on daily basic to have them with daily stuff as well. Sure, not as far as saying that they use it every day or so, but we can basically say that the stands they use are a gift to them. But for Fugo, it's really a different story, and I really mean that, because his stand can kill him and his friends in any given moment, and he has no control over it. Only basic control. That's why one of the strongest, scariest, coolest stands in all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is used only in one arc, and that is the Purple Haze arc. That's why Purple Haze is used only once in Part 5. You can take the interpretation of Fugo leaving the group in many ways, as he was scared for the group and he actually cared about them, and he was scared that he's gonna kill them unintentionally while fighting. Or you can take that as he really was scared from the boss, or you even can take that if he was loyal to the Passion group to the max. Whatever is your interpretation of it, there is a lot of backstory to Fugo's character, a really dark one, that goes up to the deep layers, or try to go to the deep layers, or of having something more than the other, and that specific thing of having something over the rest of humanity to be the thing that you don't want to have. That's why I like to call Fugo's Purple Haze the biggest gift and curse ever received. Other than that, Araki really hinted that Fugo is an intelligent character many times throughout the story. We can kind of see that he is a special boy and one really special at them, but at the same time he is the only quote-unquote smart character from the group that is involved in one of the goofiest aka best moments in JoJo Part 5, and that is the dance scene, which adds a lot to his personality too. So such a sweet art. So potentially Fugo could have been a sweetheart, a smart sweetheart who cared about the other people around him so much to the point that he had to leave the group for them. That's why everything that Fugo does is sad to see in Scream, because you just know that he didn't choose that for him. Fate did. And when he decided to refuse that fate, he just refused working with the guys, but at the same time he did that because he tried to help them, cared about them, and most importantly didn't want to hurt them. The sad story of Pannacotta Fugo, one of the greatest characters from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 5, Vento Areo. I am aware of many interpretations of the character by fans because Araki himself had a lot of ideas for Fugo, as one of them being as he betrayed Bruno's gang to the point that he actually attacked them later into the story and got as dark as Giorno killing him. But Araki later just dropped that one. So whenever you're one of those people who like to think as Fugo non-existent before Purple Haze feedback, or you just think of him as a cool character with wasted potential, or you see what I just showed in this video, the deeper meaning to Fugo's character and him actually refusing to be with the boys of Bruno's gang after the first encounter with King Crimson being a great thing for Fugo as a character, it's up to you. But we can't deny Fugo's chemistry with the gang, and what Araki was going for was absolutely genius for his character. I'm gonna be honest, I like Fugo a lot in the manga, but he wasn't one of my favorites. He recently became one of my favorites as I got to read Purple Haze feedback, which is again a must read, which basically follows Fugo's story around 3 weeks after part 5 finished in the original manga. So we see a boss Giorno try to redeem Fugo, and everything in between is just beautiful to see. I would like to go deeper to his character and to understand the fundamentals levels of what Araki was really going for and what I see in Fugo's characters, but at the same time I don't think it's fair for this video because I don't want to make half of this video spoilers for Purple Haze feedback, so I will just make that into a separate video. So for anime onlys and manga onlys, so I guess this is the character analytics video for Pannacotta Fugo. I hope you have time to read Purple Haze feedback or just watch her audio of it on YouTube. Whatever you choose to do, just do it. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. Have a nice one. Bye.